Hello, hello, hello out there. This is the Master Communicator, and you are listening to Author Central Station. My name is Sharon Jenkins, and I am the Master Communicator. And we are on Afro Vibes Radio Houston worldwide in 177 countries. And you know what? The beauty of it all is you can go worldwide on Author Central Station. We are like a stopping point for authors who have an international vision, and we make it happen. You are seen in all kinds of countries, so you want to join us. But today we have the entrepreneurial, enterprising, studious comedian Marcus Bowers in the house. Hi, Marcus.
Woo! They always go crazy for me, you know. I'm used to that.
Yeah, Marcus, I am just enjoying you so much. But you know what? We got to step out of the funny and get into the serious, because you wrote a serious book.
I did. I wrote a serious book.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it. I think it's necessary, and it's life-changing for a lot of us. So.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. So, you know what? I have this wonderful bio of you sitting right in front of me, but I want our audience to get to know you. So if your best friend was sitting where you're sitting, how would they describe you?
I will hope that, that my best friend, would say something like great. Like he's great. He's always trying to do something great. He's doing something to build a legacy. That he understands, teamwork. He understands, never leaving a man behind. He understands how he got to where he's at. And right now he's just creating an underground railroad for the rest of us.
Wow, I love it. And let me tell you, Marcus and I are both veterans. He's a Navy veteran.
Navy veteran.
And I'm an Army veteran, believe it or not.
Hey, man, I got so many jokes for
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave that alone.
Be nice to Miss Jenkins.
Okay,
Be nice
okay.
to Miss Jenkins. So let me tell you guys a little bit about Marcus. He's a comedian, an entrepreneur, and Navy Spec War veteran. And he originates from Houston, Texas. And he never takes a day off. He does comedy, has multi-store businesses. I think it's 7, right?
And counting.
And
Yeah.
counting.
Atlanta coming soon. We'll be in Atlanta real soon. New Orleans, San Fran. We are definitely expanding the brand.
Oh, good news, good news. And he teaches and he mentors and he just stays busy. And now he has 7, and we just discussed he's got more than 7 on the way. She's Happy Hair stores open all across the nation. So Marcus, yes, he sells hair. And he will make you laugh about it. And guess what? He attended Willow Ridge High School.
I did go to Willow Ridge.
Did you?
Shout out to Worthing too, though.
Did you? Worthing and Willow Ridge High School. And you also graduated with a bachelor's degree from the University of Houston.
Yes.
So we just love the fact that you have decided to write a book. So why? Why did you decide to write a book, Marcus?
I feel like it's not enough of us telling everyone else the correct steps. So I think it's necessary. I'm writing a book because, it's necessary. I feel like veterans, especially those that are like me, that are successful, need to go back and let our neighborhoods know what the first stepping stone was. And, my first stepping stone was the Navy. So I feel like it's my life's journey to spread that word, to spread that message.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about that journey. I understand that you are a Houston native. So what was it like for you when you grew up?
So funny, me growing up, I grew up off Martin Luther King Boulevard. So when you grow up in the hood, we all know how it is growing up in the hood. You grow up, you're not really just living, you kind of surviving. You fighting your way through life. You're trying to make it. And so growing up in that environment, you know, I just know what steps I took to get out. And I'm here to share it. That's what my book is about.
Wow. And so tell us a little bit more about the book's mission. I understand in the book you talk a little bit about Fort Monroe and the Underground Railroad. Tell us a little bit about your premise in that regards.
Okay, so you know, it's pretty simple. You know, the Underground Railroad was something that was created by us, by African Americans, to make it out of slavery, to make it to freedom. And so, you know, Harriet Tubman and her team that created the Underground Railroad, they were able to go back and grab us that were stuck, that were enslaved, and drag us to freedom. And so a lot of us that are stuck sometimes off of Martin Luther King Boulevard in every city or state, sometimes we just need people to come back and grab us and show us the way. So that's what this book is. It's the Underground Railroad. It's written for us, by us, FUBU, you know, and we're going to have a lot of fun with it. We're going to change some lives.
So I understand that you do a lot of work in the local high schools and middle schools. Tell us about that mission. You're so busy, you're running stores, and you're a comedian, and you're just taking care of business.
Yeah.
But you find time to reach back into the community and to help kids. Why? Where does that passion come from?
I think it comes from, you know, my life experience. You know, I've always had people to come back and help me along the way. So I know that, you know, it's my job to do the exact same thing. And the high schoolers is where it starts. You know, those are the ones that can still be molded, that can still be taught, that can still be led. For some, you know, they're stuck in their ways, you know, but others, you know, I feel like I can save some kids, I can save some youth, and kind of change our neighborhoods. You know, I was one of those guys. I was one of those hardheads. I got kicked out of HISD, but still was able to progress in life and, you know, and make it back to where I need to be, you know, as a model citizen. So, again, I just know what steps it took for me to get here, and I'm just out about, you know, showing and leading the way.
So I understand that your older brothers had a lot to do with setting the role model for you. Tell us a little bit about what they did to keep you on the straight and narrow. Even though you were a fighter,
Yeah.
they kept you on the straight and narrow.
Yeah. Well, I think what it was with my brothers is, you know, when you always do things right, that's how you lead by example. And so both my older brothers never did anything wrong. So I got all my wrongness from the streets or from, you know, from school or from my peers, but my brothers never really did anything wrong. So they always set that example for me, and they're still setting that example.
So in the book, you talk about your mom also being a role model. Can you share a little bit with our audience about how your mom inspired you?
Okay, well, I mean, so for me, I have a bunch of degrees. I enjoy going to college. I enjoy educating myself. I enjoy learning on the University of YouTube. But one thing that my mom taught me is that you didn't have to be at school to learn. You know, she always had homework assignments for me and my brother. She always pushed us along the way, even before we had computers and things like that in our household, you know. So just knowing that you don't have to be on a college campus to learn, that motivates me to always educate myself. So that's what I do every day. I better myself every day.
Now, I want to know, how in the world did you get kicked out of HISD?
You don't want to know that one, man.
Yes, I want to know. And our listening audience and viewing audience want to know too, because there are kids every day that struggle with who am I, or being just angry because life hasn't treated them the way that they wanted it to treat them. So help us out. Tell us a little bit, because I'm looking at you now, and every hair is in place. Actually, you did win the fight, Marcus. You're alive and you're here and you're helping people.
Yeah.
That's a tremendous blessing.
Yes, it is.
So tell us a little bit about, you know, why were you, you know?
You know, I think the real reason why I was duking it out and getting it in when I was, you know, in those environments, because you have to. You have to. If you don't, you get your lunch money too. And, you know, I wasn't the type of person, I like to eat, you know, so I can't let you take my 50 cents, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what it is. And so, again, when you grow up in those environments, some people don't understand that that's a part of growing up. They think that we're just savages, or, you know, we're doing it because that's who we are. And so I'm just trying to break it down to the world and let them know, like, sometimes that's just how we survive. You know, that's a part of growing up. but I'm not against it. I'm not, downplaying it. I think it made me who I am today. And it made me better for the military. It made me better for after the military. It made me better than what I would have been had I not taken those steps,
So we've got like 5 different branches in the military, and you chose the Navy. Can you tell us why the Navy and not the Army or the Marines or even the Air Force?
You want me to be nice, or you want me to just keep it?
I want you to be nice. You got to be nice when you with Miss Jenkins.
I can keep it real, But I chose the Navy because one, I'm a pretty good swimmer. But although in the military, you don't necessarily need to swim like a fish. But I kind of knew that it was going to be a stepping stone. I wanted to honorably serve my country. I wanted to travel the world, and I wanted to be able to go to college for free. And so I was able to do that, and I'm still able to do that. And I think that a lot of the benefits that we get during, and after, we're not telling our people. And so that's what the book is about. I'm just telling my people, like, hey, the benefits are here. All you got to do is use these stepping stones. And so whether it's the Navy, the Air Force, the Coast Guard, the National Guard, the Marines, or the Army, any of those things, man, sometimes it's just better than staying where you're at. And so that's what the message of the book is. And I'm excited to be the author.
Well, I can tell you from my own personal experience in the military that I would not have the courage to do 90% of the things that I do if I had not had that nurturing and that building of my inner man while I was in the military. And it is still working for me. And I was a veteran during the Vietnam era war. So that tells you that that experience can give you a stepping step up.
Yeah.
So what I'm curious about is, okay, now we really still didn't get the scoop on why you got kicked out of HISD, but I'm going to leave it alone.
I'll tell you, I'll share it with you, Sharon. So for one, let me do my thing here. Boom. So for one, when I was in high school, again, you have to fight, sometimes where you at when you're growing up in certain environments. So I fought a lot. I always had a whole respect thing. So when I had too many fights, the principal got fed up, and he was like, hey, you got the role. So I got kicked out. It was at a pep rally. It was a football pep rally. I was in the back of the pep rally, not enjoying the pep rally in the audience with everybody else, but I was in the back of the auditorium shooting dice. And I was shooting dice with some people that didn't understand that, I was winning. They wasn't happy about me winning. And so that situation of me trying to, turn $1 into $100 turned into a fight, and I ended up getting kicked out of HISD.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So the reason why I wanted us to hear that story, Marcus, is simply this. When we look at you today, we see the miracle of who you are, how you made right choices that led you to becoming the entrepreneur that you are, and also to desire to write a book. I think it is, how can I say it? It surpasses human expectation, the things that you do to go back into the community and bring other people out. I see you as a modern day Harriet Tubman. How do you feel about that?
I think that's an exciting name to be spoken in a sentence with. I definitely live my life as if I want to be remembered. I am building a legacy, which is why the name of the book is The Martin Luther King Boulevard Road Street Mindset. I strategically called the book that because Dr. King's 50th-year anniversary is coming up. So for those that don't know, Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated just 50 years ago on April 4th, 2018. It's just 50 years ago. So if you kind of do the math, it's not that long ago. And again, I always tell people to do the math. And if you're about 35 years old, that means like 25 years before you was born, a black man was assassinated because he wanted what was best for the world. And right now we drive up and down his street. We drive up and down Martin Luther King Boulevard, Road, Street, Avenue, Lane, all across the U.S. And, he's great. So I definitely, I want to be a part of that greatness. I want to be remembered. I want to build a legacy, and I want people to know that I'm more than just hair.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, let me ask you another question. So, you're going to write this book, and you're writing this book for who?
This is for the youth. This book is for the youth. If you graduate in high school, I'm painting a picture of your decisions, that what can happen and what will happen, you know. So I'm letting you guys know that these are your opportunities. And so all I'm doing is open up your mind to anybody that's in high school, anybody just graduated high school. These are stepping stones that you can take. You read this book, and I guarantee you, you'll be better than yesterday. And that's the plan. The plan is to make our people better than yesterday. So whoever reads this book, definitely you will be better than yesterday. Whether you choose to go to the military, you choose to go straight to college, or you choose to go straight to get a job, you know, because I'm directing everybody in every realm of how to get out of that environment and be better than yesterday, no matter which route you take.
And the whole fruit of the book is simply this: if you step up, you take the community up with you.
Exactly.
Okay? And then the community becomes better as a result of you making the right choice, the right decision.
Exactly. You always bring somebody with you, or you bring everybody with you. And so with this book, I hope to bring everybody with me. I think the rhetoric in our neighborhoods is that, you know, these are not the stepping stones to take. Don't go to the military, or don't go you know, fight for your country. Don't go get these benefits. And I don't understand why. So I argue with people about, you know, hey, let's stop saying that. Let's start telling the people what it really is. Let's start letting them know, like, yeah, you are gonna probably risk your life a little more often than not when you go to the Army or the Marines, but either way, it's still a good stepping stone, you know. Everybody's not doing the same thing, so what you see in the movies and on TV, that ain't realistic, bro. You know, go get these benefits, man. Come back, make your community better. So that's what it is.
And it's all about the choices that you make. You got to look at who you are as an individual, or be willing to discover who you are as an individual, and align yourself with the armed services that best fits your personality.
Exactly.
So if you don't like camping, don't go in the Marines. Don't go in the Army. If you don't like camping. And if you don't like flying in an airplane, don't go to the Air Force. And then if you don't like being on a boat for long periods of time, don't go to the Navy. It's as simple as that, isn't it?
But you'll be surprised how many people don't know those small things, you know, when you break it down, even the way you just did. So again, in the book, I'm able to put it into details and inform everybody, you know, about the great decisions that you can make, especially at a young age. You know, when you are 18, you're just not graduating, that's the right time to do it. You know, the longer you wait to be great, the harder it is.
Wow, wow. Well, what I think we're going to do right now, Marcus, is take a little break. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We're going to be back in a few minutes. You are listening to Author Central Station. Sharon C. Jenkins here on Afro Vibes Radio, Houston Worldwide. And we'll be back in a few. Hello, we are back. You are listening to Author Central Station. This is Sharon C. Jenkins, the Master Communicator. And guess what? We are on Afro Vibes Radio worldwide in 177 countries. And can you imagine, this little Virginia girl is now worldwide. I mean, I could have thought of this when I was 16 and 17 years old. And we've got the wonderful Marcus Bowers here. He has such a big heart. And you know what? I want you all to see his heart, because his heart has touched my heart. And let me tell you why. Because I believe that young people need to have every advantage to become who they have been designed to become. And Marcus, in his wonderful book, The Martin Luther King Boulevard, Road, Street Mindset, addresses that issue. And we've had similar experiences when we were 17 and 18.
Yes.
And so I just want to say kudos to you, Marcus. I'm telling you, you are writing a great book. Yes, we will do that. I find myself now sometimes still hitting parade rest. Can you believe it? For those of you who are just now tuning in, Marcus is a comedian, entrepreneur, and Navy Spec War veteran from Houston, Texas. And he is about to add, on April the 4th, he is about to add author to his list of titles, and congratulations on that. So tell us a little bit about your book, Marcus, for those people who are just tuning in, and then I've got a few other questions for you.
Okay. Well, again, you know, hey, I'm Marcus Bowers. I grew up off Martin Luther King Boulevard. We drive up and down Martin Luther King Boulevard every day. Clearly, again, you know, this man did some great things when he was coming up, before he was assassinated. Now I'm blessed to have the opportunity to always be on the plane. So I'm always flying to work. And the different cities that I fly to, I go to Martin Luther King, you know, because I want to. I want to see, like, what it's like when I get there. And I'm always surprised that it's always the same. So every Martin Luther King in every city that I've been to looks like my Martin Luther King. So because I know that every city has a Martin Luther King, that means they have some of the same type of people. And I want to be able to help those people get out of their situations, especially the high schoolers, especially the youth, especially the people that, you know, that have these opportunities to use the stepping stones that I've made, that I've used. So I just want to make certain that they don't wait, you know, so that they understand what's in front of them with all these decisions. You know, again, I have a bunch of degrees. I've been in school for quite some time, and I'm still learning, all for free, baby. You know what I'm saying? All for free, baby. You know what I'm saying? It's free money. It's out here. I tell people all the time how much money I had fresh out of boot camp, balling out. I've been balling ever since. You know, like, I've been balling ever since boot camp, like literally, you know. So I try to let the youth know, especially if you're in high school, you know, before you decide to just jump out there and get a job, or, you know, go to school and get a degree, or attempt to, you know, fizzle out because you run out of financial aid. Go get this money and this education. It's free education over here. So I know I sound like a military recruiter sometimes, but I feel like that's my life's journey, is to let us know, let our people know, and let other veterans know that it's our job to tell these kids, hey, don't listen to the others. Don't listen to the people that's never done it. Listen to the ones that's done it and that's doing it. Follow their lead instead of the ones that's never done it. Stop listening to the people that's telling you, nah, man, that ain't it. It is. That's it. That's it. And most people that didn't use the stepping stones that I'm referring to in the book, if they had the opportunity, they would go back and they would use them. You know, most would. And so I'm trying to make certain that the youth, that the kids don't have that reminiscent moment. You know, they've already done it because they use those stepping stones.
That's powerful. So you're writing this book, and, you know, from author to author, I know that writing this book is literally changing your life. How is your life being changed as a result?
I feel like, you know, I want to lead more by example. You know I have a few flaws here and there, but not many. You know, so because you know, the few flaws I have, I want to clean them up, and be certain to, you know, when I'm speaking from these platforms, that people can take me 100% seriously without, you know, trying to chip away at my flaws. You know, so I'm working on me, but at the same time, I'm working on my people and making sure my people, we all working and getting better at the same time. You know, I talk to some people that don't understand the importance of school, the importance of education. I'm talking to these people in this book. You know, like, stop listening to the wrong people. You know, we need people, again, that are successful to come back and show others the Underground Railroad. We still going through it. We got Trump in office. We are still going through it. There's still an Underground Railroad that's necessary. And this is a part of it. So this is just a piece. This is just one track being laid. There's so many other tracks that need to be laid. So we need other veterans, other success stories to come back and tell us how to do it. Tell the youth how to do it. Tell the people how to do it. So we can all be great.
So what advice would you give to aspiring authors? Because, you know, some people, they have a story within them, but they are afraid to tell it, or the number one question they ask themselves, Marcus, is, who would want to read a book that I wrote? What is your answer to that question?
So in life, it's a lot of ways you could be great, and it's a lot of ways you can be remembered, and it's a lot of ways you can build a legacy. You can create some things, whether it's music or movies or a book. But we all got to die at some point in time, and when you die, you should want to be remembered. I know I do, and so if I die, I know I have a company. I got She's Happy Hair. I don't have any kids, but I got a book. So even when I'm no longer here, my book and my writings will always be here. So I think that as long as you have in your mind that you want to be great, don't wait to be great. Right now. Right now is the time to write. If you want to write a book, right now is the time to write. Don't wait to be great, because you're not promised tomorrow. Muhammad Ali, I wish we could hear him speak more right now. I wonder what he got to say about Trump. I would love to hear what he got to say. But he was showing his greatness years ago, before God took his voice away. I just wish I could hear what my man got to say. But he's been the greatest, and he's still the greatest. But he didn't wait to speak his mind. He didn't wait to lay down the writings. So don't wait to be great. You never know what tomorrow has in store for you.
So should we expect other books?
I think I'm just getting started. I think this book isn't about me. This book is just for my people. It's just for the youth. I'm a teacher. I went to school. I got my teacher certification. I went back to school to get my teacher certification because I cared. I knew that I was going to be successful, but I wanted to go back and be certain that others would too. So I went and got my teacher certification to teach the youth. And that's what this book is for. That's who this book is for. So, of course, I think there'll be more books in the future, not just about me, but about my experience. I'm a talker. I can't talk on Twitter no more. When you're a business owner, you gotta be quiet. You can't really just tweet your opinion. You gotta keep it social. So I don't post on social media like I used to. So I gotta vent somewhere. So that's where the comedy comes in, though. I get a chance to get on stage and talk about anything under the sun without people being judgmental and stuff. So, yeah, you can definitely expect some more books coming. I'm a writer now.
So, how are you going to celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King's, the anniversary, unfortunately, of his death? How are you going to celebrate that? Because your book is about MLK, Boulevard Street, lane, mindset. So the idea is to just really wake people up, and just get us back on track of the Underground Railroad and kind of remind them, like, hey, it ain't been that long ago. My brother, my sister, it ain't been that long ago since the death of Dr. Martin Luther King. And so, since it's just been 50 years, and 50 years ain't that long ago, there's still a lot of work to do. He didn't drop the baton and leave it there. We all got to pick up a piece of something and, like I said, lay a piece of that Underground Railroad, lay a piece of that track. So this is my track. I'm doing a lot of parts. This ain't the only track that I plan on laying, but I think it's going to take all of us to do the work. I agree wholeheartedly. So we know the book is coming, but give us a general idea when you think we can actually order this book, and where can we get this book from?
Okay, so you'll be able to order the book on April 4th, on the actual death day, from my website, of course, marcusbowers.com. It'll be on Amazon, pre-orders, the whole nine. Everywhere where you can get books is going to be there. Definitely digital. I'm going to do an audio. I think I'm going to make that one a little more fun. And expect some more YouTube videos, the whole nine. I'm going to be more vocal now, just because I got something to say. I want my youth, my community to utilize these stepping stones on the way to greatness.
So how can our audience contact you?
I'm everywhere. I'm on every social media platform. I'm still on Black Planet. You might be able to find your boy on BP. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm on everything. I'm on Twitter, Instagram. Twitter is at Marcus Bowers. That's MARCUS. BOWERS. I'm on Facebook, it's Marcus Bowers. On Snapchat, Instagram, at Marcus Bowers. I got a little underscore at the end of Marcus Bowers on Instagram because somebody beat me to it, but you know how that goes. But I'm on everything, and again, you know, you can actually just contact me from my site, from marcusbowers.com. That's a place where you'll be able to find most of the information, where I'm encouraging people to be better than yesterday.
So this is an international radio station. You are a man who has traveled all over the world. Yes. So can you talk a little bit just about the benefits you had of being in the military and getting to see the world?
Okay. I mean, that's pretty simple. So traveling the world just opens up your mind. You know, I was able to leave, you know, my neighborhood, you know, Martin Luther King, and go all over the world. I was in Thailand and Malaysia and Singapore, Philippines. I was swimming across the equator. You can't swim across the equator in the hood, you know, so I was actually enjoying things. I'm jumping out of helicopters. Ain't no helicopters in the hood unless, you know, it's a crime scene and they're trying to track somebody down or something. You know how they go.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, you get a chance to experience those things that you'll never experience if you stay where you at.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my life experience then. And so now that I'm a businessman, you know, I'm able to travel with no problem.
Mm-hmm. Whereas
Whereas some people that's you know, from where they from has never been on an airplane. You know, I got a chance to go on an airplane for free because I was in the Navy, because I chose to go to the military, you know. So when you don't have the means to do it or the resources, you know, you can utilize the stepping stones and still enjoy your benefits at the end of the day.
Wow. Any parting comments for our audience, Marcus?
Add me on something. You know, add me on something. Add me on Twitter, on Instagram, Snapchat. It's Marcus Bowers again. It's MARCUS BOWERS. And because this is an international platform, please order something from sheshappyhair.com. We are always open 24/7. You know what I'm saying? Hey, 24/7, 365. We is open. You can come get happy. We got everything you need for your hair care.
Oh, that's cute.
Come get
That's
happy.
cute. I
And
tell you.
She's Happy Hair.
Yeah, that's the
commercial break.
entrepreneur. That's
Commercial
Marcus, the entrepreneur. I tell you, I appreciate you, Marcus. I want to thank you for being on the show today. It was my honor. You know, one of the beautiful things about Author Central Station is I need to remind you that we have people come in from all different walks of life, but they've embraced this mission to write a book to change the world. And so it is our privilege to help them get their message to the masses. And that's why we do what we do here at Author Central Station. My name is Sharon Jenkins. I'm the Master Communicator. And let me share with you, next week we're going to have Tammy Durden. And she is a girl that has a message, and inspirational message, and you do not want to miss it. So anyway, thank you for tuning in. Again, this is Author Central Station on Afro Vibes Radio Worldwide. And remember, we love you, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. Bye-bye.